your forecast first. Sponsored by Natex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Well, good evening to you. Satellite and radar pictures still showing a lot of that cloud cover. I'm going to get out of the way so you can see what's going on in the bottom left-hand portion of your screen. Parts of Missouri, they've got a little bit of a wintry mix going on down there. Some of that is going to creep into parts of central Illinois tomorrow. We may see a few snowflakes flying around here. Otherwise, we'll see another cloudy day with temperatures in the 30s. That's where we sit right now. We have barely moved with this temperature for almost 2 days now. If you're heading out and about tomorrow morning, expecting those temperatures in the upper 20s to near 30. I think we're dry in the morning, but we could see some snowflakes there by midday. We'll talk more about that coming up. WCIA 3 News starts right now.
From WCIA 3 News.
Plane had gone down about 7 miles southeast of Springfield.
And that crash was deadly, killing all 3 people on board.
You just want to know why. It's not right.
It's been 12 years since his stepson was murdered. What else they have to say about the search for his killer?
Some aren't happy with one school district's assistant superintendent, why they say he's failing, and what the district did to him tonight.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 10.
Good evening, I'm Paul Chikine.
And I'm Jessica Coons. 3 people are dead after a plane crashed this afternoon near Springfield. It was on its way to Abraham Lincoln Capital Airport from Huntsville, Alabama, but crashed in a neighborhood just outside of the city. WCIA 3's Mark Maxwell has been following this story. He is live at the scene. Mark, this plane went down near homes.
Jessica, good evening. This remains an active investigation scene where this crash occurred, and if it gives you any sense of just how close the plane came down to where people live, it was captured on video camera devices that were designed to monitor that space right in front of your door. This small private plane crashed in a rural field on the outskirts of Springfield. It quickly went up in smoke. The whole thing caught on a doorbell Ring video camera. Authorities say the crash missed hitting a home by roughly 75 feet. Sangamon County Sheriff Jack Campbell.
Plane had gone down about 7 miles southeast of Springfield.
The sheriff set up a makeshift news conference inside a church gymnasium blocks away from the scene of the crash.
There were flames coming from the plane. Nobody could approach the plane due to the flames.
Once the fire crews put out the flames, they discovered the tragic remains of what was left behind.
There were 3 deceased persons in the plane, along with a canine.
That flight that took off from Huntsville, Alabama, had very nearly reached its destination. It was just 10 miles from a safe landing on an airstrip at the Abraham Lincoln Capital Airport. That's where the pilot became aware something had gone wrong.
The pilot reported that they were having trouble, and the tower reported to us that they had mentioned weather and instrument trouble.
Local officials are working in tandem with the Federal Aviation Administration and the National Transportation Safety Board to investigate what went wrong and to identify all the passengers on board.
We're not able to make an identification at this time.
The deputy coroners just went under this tape behind me as they continue to investigate this. WCIA is waiting to report the names of the people who are on board until after we can confirm that their families have already been notified. Reporting just outside Springfield, Mark Maxwell, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
All right, Mark, thank you.
The remains of a man found in Peoria County have been identified. The sheriff's office found a skull on the shore of the Illinois River about 15 miles outside of Peoria in 2017. A DNA sample matched a torso recovered from the same river in 2016. The coroner says John Frisch was beaten and dismembered. Investigators are looking into what Frisch did in the days leading to his death. It's been a dozen years since a double unsolved murder in Edgar County. 2
friends, Ryan Riddle and Mark Prossi, were shot and killed in Chrisman. Tonight we heard from family as they and police continue to search for justice. WCIA 3's Jennifer Jensen is live in our newsroom. So Jennifer, what has happened with this investigation?
Jessica, state police are still handling this case, but even after all these years, they don't have any new information to release. Riddle's family says each day that passes is just as painful as when they first found out these 2 men were killed.
12 years ago, Terry Romine was woken up by police knocking at his door.
It hurts.
To this day, the painful memory of his stepson's death, Ryan Riddle, remains a constant reminder that the killer has not been caught. In 2008, Riddle and Mark Prossi were shot to death. Police say Riddle picked up Prossi from work in Paris. They went to a meeting in Tuscola, then drove to Riddle's house in Villa Grove. Later that day, Riddle drove Prossi home to Chrisman. Their bodies were found inside that house. Years ago, police had stacks of paperwork detailing their investigation, but none of it contained answers that identified whoever committed this murder.
You want to give up hope, but Ryan's mom died in 2015, and she always made me promise her that I wouldn't give up.
Every few months, he calls police for an update.
The first thing the state police told us is it's not a TV show, and they don't have all the answers.
Police told him they believe the killer knew both of the men, but beyond that, not much information has been released, leaving Riddle's family pleading for justice.
You just hope that one phone call or email is, hey, we got him.
State police still encourage anyone who may have seen something that day or knows anything about this to call them. There's a 24-hour tip line. That number is on your screen right now. In the newsroom, I'm Jennifer Jensen, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
Hopefully they eventually do get those answers they're looking for. Jennifer, thank you. Springfield police are investigating a shooting. This happened on North Patton Avenue, north of Yates Avenue today. Police say a juvenile was shot in the leg. A commander says it was reported as an accidental shooting, so they're not looking for any suspects, but they are looking into how it happened. New for you tonight, a Rantoul man is offering a reward for information that leads him to his missing trailer. His large construction trailer was last seen sitting at a lot on the corner of Flessner Avenue and Enterprise Drive in Rantoul. It's gray and has the numbers 046737 on the front. People who work nearby saw it Friday afternoon. They say a man in a half-ton white pickup with a black flatbed hooked it up and took off with it. The owner says that person was not authorized to take it, and so he's filed a police report. He's also offering a $500 cash reward for anyone who finds it. If you do know anything, you should call Rantoul Police.
5 businesses in Gifford are cleaning up after break-ins at each within hours. It happened overnight Tuesday. Police are still trying to find the person responsible. That person or persons broke into Jesse Starkey Photographer, the Homestead, a craft farm shop, Stutzman Ag, and Premier Cooperative. They took about $250,000 and stole 2 liquor bottles. There's no estimate on damages to the businesses. Some had equipment, including computers and drones inside, but those were left untouched. Here's an update to a Target 3 investigation. 5 days after we asked the Champaign County Treasurer why it hadn't contacted a woman about the erroneous tax sale of her property, she received a letter. It says the process to fix the problem was started. It's signed by Pius Weibel, the acting chief deputy treasurer. He also says in that letter he'll update Anita Pilarski as the process continues and apologizes for, quote, unnecessary stress. Attached is a copy of the letter sent to the tax buyer. Both letters are dated January 24th. Now, when we spoke to Weibel on January 22nd, this is what he said.
I have to notify the tax buyer. Actually, the tax buyer has notified already that this was a sale in error. If it's not contested, and then after 30 days, we basically send the money back to the tax buyer, and that's it pretty much.
Now, in addition to a refund for the purchase, the county will also add an interest payment. The tax buyer has to surrender the certificate of purchase. I did speak with a representative from Bassmaster Tax Investment, LLC. Now, they did receive their letter from the county today and said they won't be objecting to the administrative sale in error.
It's back to the bargaining table this week for teaching assistants in one district as they're still in search of a contract.
Plus, the Decatur Education Association says it gave one assistant superintendent a failing grade. The school district disagreed. We'll explain.
And later, one Illinois basketball player said he had unfinished business this year. How he's taking care of it.